So, Amanda, welcome back to part two of Ballet with Amanda.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Absolutely.
Welcome.
Want to come? I do want to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah.
It is that, yeah. Yeah, it's like English at all. It's like I'm integrating my language and no language.
Yep. That's my language. Perfect. Oh dear. This is a perfect place to put all your sponsors.
All my sponsors, yeah.
Famous. Who should we be sponsored by?
Sponsored by Nita.
Yep. Sponsored by Chai.
Chai. Sponsored by Spike Paul.
Yep. Sponsored by not chai tea lattes because that's redundant twice. Yes.
I know I just chai.
Yeah. Sponsored by that nap I took earlier today. Holy moly. I would not be here today without that nap. That's the most important sponsor of all.
Okay. So, how long have you been dancing for?
My whole life.
Ooh.
As long as I can remember. I started going to classes since I was 6 years old, consistently. But according to my mother, I've been dancing ever since I could walk. She made her wedding veil into a little tutu for me, and I used to dance around the house, around the little piano. So it's always been something that I've loved since I was born, since before I can remember. I don't know why I started dancing. I don't know how I got that idea in my head, but they eventually put me in classes, and I've been doing it ever since. I'm 24, and so what? I'm terrible at math. From 6 until 24. How many years is that? Maybe 18? Is it 18?
I hope it's 18.
God, we're depressing. Well, let me see.
If it's wrong,
Let's count properly. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. What am I saying? That's like time. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Let's say 24. Yeah, 18 years. It's wild. It's almost 2 decades.
I know. That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I didn't do so well.
Okay. And what was it like when your mother took you to your first ballet class?
I have no idea. I truly have no idea. I'm trying to think what my first memory of dancing was. I do not remember going to my first class. I remember wearing like a little pink outfit, which when you get older, the traditional color is black. Almost every ballet student wears black all the time. So it's a little bit of a cliche that we always wear pink frilly things. Usually it's just black, simple black. But anyway, when you're a kid, you can wear whatever you want. You wear pink. I remember the ballet slippers were leather, and they were so like, little girls' ballet slippers are so like hard, you know, they're not worn through because you can't articulate your foot when you're a little kid. And I remember those big loose ballet slippers. And yeah, I don't know. I used to teach a lot of little kids when I was dancing. When I was a teenager in high school, I used to be a dance teacher as well. So I think now my memories are being colored by the children I used to teach. You know what I mean? When you know something happens and you don't actually remember it, you like remember the picture of it, or you remember the way that you're teaching little kids versus what my actual experience was. So I think mostly my memories come from being a teacher of little kids.
Wow. So you have been dancing for 18 years.
Crazy. Yeah.
Say 18 years.
That's insane.
What is the age a person can stop because due to body reasons?
Whenever you want.
You can do it at 60 as well.
Yeah,
Dance at 60.
absolutely. Not professionally. The thing is that from the age of 6 until 65, you can take ballet class. The ballet class is just doing the steps to the music. There's no performance. There's no choreography. You just learn a combination and you practice it. And there's a set order. You go from pliés to tendus, dégagés, all the way through the end of class. And it's like praying the way that you do it, like a ritual, you know? Ballet dancers, when you don't take class, you don't feel like yourself. So that you can do as late as you want. You can be 9 years old taking ballet class if you want. Maybe you won't look so good, but you can do whatever you want. Professionally, performing, generally the age range is from 16, 17, 18 is a very common age to get your first contract. And then your 20s are probably like the peak of your career. Once you reach 30, you're on the way down. There are very few ballet dancers that continue professionally past the age of 30. And by that time, you're old. Once you get into 40s, I mean, nobody, maybe a few, 1 or 2, but nobody dances once they're in their 40s. And a lot of women, once they have children, they'll retire. A lot of women, once they get old, they'll retire. And then a large killer of ballet careers is injuries, of course. If you get a catastrophic injury, there's nothing you can do. You know, you blow your knee out one too many times, that's it. And a lot of dancers, you can come back from most injuries, but a lot of dancers will quit after a big injury because they know that the pain of coming back is going to take months, maybe even years. You'll never be your full self again. And so a lot of people will just sort of brush it off. I know someone who had 6 knee surgeries. She tore her ACL like 4 different times, you know. And after her 6th surgery, she was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. I could come back. She's young. She's younger than me, you know. She could spend the 1.5 years of rehab and getting back and trying to audition again. But knowing that her knees have been damaged so much, it's going to happen again. And if she keeps dancing, it's going to get injured again and again and again. And she said, like, I can't do this anymore. Ballet has taken everything from me. I can't do it anymore. I quit. So things like that are really sad, and they happen all the time.
What is this contract part which you spoke about in your teens or during your early teens?
When you are dancing professionally, it kind of works like a football team in that you are a player and you are hired by a team and they sign a contract. They're going to pay you this much and you play in all their games. It's kind of the same for ballet dancers generally. You are a dancer and you get hired by a company. They give you a contract. You're signed for 1 year, 1 season. They say, these are all the shows we're going to do. We're going to pay you this much, and you dance in all their shows.
And what age is this?
I mean, young dancers get contracts. It depends. Young dancers get contracts as young as 15, 16. Frankly, ballet likes it young. The younger you are, kind of the better.
And how much do you get paid if it's a yearly contract?
I don't know. I can't estimate. A lot of dancers make nothing. And these days, especially, there's a lot of dancers that are paying to dance. That's very common. A trainee program is like you're dancing with the company and you're doing all the same things as the company dancers do, but you're in school, quote unquote. So you're paying a fee to be learning professionally. It's akin to an internship in normal world. You're like dancing and working for this company, but they're not paying you. You know, you're dancing and working for this company, and sometimes they make you pay where you get paid nothing. And then the next level up, it's common to get a show fee. Like you're dancing for free every day, but if you do a show, you get paid $100, something like this. Once you get into the bigger companies, you get a real salary, but I don't know what that is. It's going to be low. It's going to be low for sure. Nobody's ever going to get rich based off dancing. The way you make money as a dancer, if you're going to make money as in be rich, is by sponsorships, dancing in galas, things where you're famous enough that your name is making you money, not the company, you know? Most talented dancers live comfortably, but they will never be rich from dancing.
So basically, with any girl or guy who wants to start training now, you wouldn't suggest them to leave all their education and leave their work and just go full on ballet?
No.
So ballet is going to be something on the side?
Yeah. Ballet is the worst career you can have. Unless you love it so much, don't do it. Unless you can't not do it, don't do it. It's painful, it's difficult, it's mentally and physically exhausting. You'll injure yourself, you'll lose your mind, you'll not make any money for years and years. People are mean to you, you have to lose out on so many things. You make so many sacrifices, and you only do it if you love it so much that it doesn't even bother you. You're so in love, you don't even think about this as a sacrifice. You're doing it for ballet. It's like a god, it's like a religion almost. If you don't feel that way about it, don't do it as a career. It's awful.
So why do people get into ballet? Is it because they don't know any of these things? Or?
Yeah. And when you're a kid, you don't know any of that. You're just showing up and having fun.
But the parents and the family around?
They don't know. People don't know how hard it is. It's like a cute thing to throw your child into. It's like, oh, my girl's doing ballet. You go to recitals once a year. And most people, they do that and then they go off to college and they quit. And that's perfect. I think that's the peak time to quit dance, honestly, because you get all the good parts and none of the bad. But for the lucky, unlucky few that fall in love, you suffer for this art form. And I mean, famously, I don't know about famously, but when I was a kid, I heard one of my teachers say to the class that it doesn't matter how much you want ballet, it matters how much ballet wants you. And there are things that you just can't change. I mean, I'm tall, and that will forever hinder my career because it's better if women are short, period. I don't have very good turnout. That's like in the bones of my hips. There's nothing I can do about that, you know? Some people have inflexible arms. Some people don't have a very good center of balance. They're just things that you can't change about yourself, and they're just not good for ballet. And if you have too many of those things, you'll never have a career, and that's just the fact. Doesn't matter how much you love it. It doesn't matter how much you want it. It doesn't matter how much you work. You're never going to make it, which is kind of sad, but it's a harsh, harsh world.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 It's, I don't recommend it to anyone. And if you love it so much that you can't not do it, then you don't need my recommendation. You're doing it anyway.
So do you see yourself going into ballet as something in the sight for this year, 2024?
I don't know. I mean, of course, I was dancing with a company for 2 years. This year, I've stepped away from the company. I don't know what role ballet is going to play in my life.
But tell us a bit about your journey from the
Yeah.
United States to Barcelona.
Yeah. Man, crazy move. I grew up dancing in Connecticut. I trained at a really, really casual school. I mean, I'm the only one that took it serious, which was nice and not nice. Nice in that I continued to love it, and I wasn't in a super precious, good lord, in a super pressurized school growing up. I got to enjoy the art form, but also not nice in that the level was not particularly high, not high enough for a pre-professional dancer. So I would go away to summer intensives and train at a pre-professional level and sort of use that to stay strong, technically. And then when I was 18, I went to university and studied dance, among other things. So I spent 3 years studying at the University of Cincinnati, dancing every day at a pre-professional level. And then my first contract, quote-unquote contract, was a trainee contract where I was paying as if I was a student at Ballet de Barcelona. But I took it because I wanted to live in Barcelona. I had another opportunity that was quote-unquote better in the States, in that I would be being paid and I would be immediately part of the company rather than a trainee. But I took the opportunity in Barcelona because you don't get that many opportunities to move to Barcelona, and I knew I would regret it if I didn't. So I did. I moved to Barcelona when I was 21, and then I spent 1 year as a trainee and then 1 year as an apprentice as part of the company. And this summer I stepped away from the company, and so now I don't know. It was a few months ago. I don't know what I'm going to do about dance. I love the art form, but I hate the industry, and I don't know if I want to continue as a professional, because I was falling out of love for sure. I was losing myself, I was losing my love for the art, and I don't think it's sustainable for me to be with a company. But I don't know. I don't want to say that for sure. I don't know. Eventually, I would like to become a therapist and help treat the mental health of dancers, because I know that it's strenuous on the mind, and I've lived through a lot of the struggles that dancers need to experience, and I feel that I can help dancers overcome that with a clinical background. But that's years and years away, huh? I don't know. I don't know what is next in store for me in ballet.
If there's a couple of things you would like to change, which you think, is there something that you could, if you get into power? Because I'm not sure about who's in power, or like if there's a board or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, generally the person in power is just the director of the company, the artistic director of the company. It's like a company, like a normal, I don't know, IBM, freaking, what's a company here? Vodafone.
Vodafone.
The CEO of Vodafone is in charge of Vodafone. And of course
let's go with Movistar because we're in Barcelona. Right?
Is Vodafone not...
I don't think it's from here. I think it's like a...
Is it like...
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know Movistar is like... Movistar DG is all local.
Okay.
Orange.
Is Orange local? No, it can't be. It's an English word.
Yeah, it has to be called that. Yeah.
But not that. No, there's no Orange in the US. There's no Orange in the US. We have AT&T, T-Mobile, these things that... So yeah, that's for another expert.
We have Company A.
Yeah, we have Movistar. You know, the CEO of Movistar is in charge of Movistar. So the artistic director of a company is going to be in charge of that company. So if I was an artistic director of my own company, I would make sure all dancers are paid fairly. I would only hire people that I respect as artists. And I would respect them as artists. I would not treat them like chess pieces that I can move around in my little game the way I want them to be. I would I would try to treat them as individuals that we're collaborating to create work. And I think that more modern companies are like that. I would not shame people for the way their body works. I would not demand something of someone that they could not give me. I would not undermine people's self-esteem thinking it would motivate them. I would build them up in order to help them reach the goals I've set for them rather than the opposite. But at a certain point, the art form is the art form, and I don't know if I would ever want to be a part of a board of directors, realistically. I don't know if I would want that for myself. I don't know. Not everyone should be president. I just don't think it's for me. I don't know if that was a very good answer. I was just talking quiet. This was the bridge. I was speaking quiet. From the heart. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what my relationship with ballet is going to be like, or I don't know how much I want to be a part of the industry anymore because I don't like it. I don't like the industry. I don't think it's right. I don't want to participate in it. But who knows?
The astrology app, did you check?
The astrology?
Okay, sister.
Yeah, not right now. Mercury's in retrograde in Capricorn, so everything's gonna be bad right now, according to the stars.
So you don't do ballet this year?
This year.
Very cool.
Well, actually, I have a class tomorrow, so
Oh.
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. My first one in a long time. Well, this is an app today to record this.
This is a different company.
Yeah, this is just a really chill studio,
Yeah.
and my friend Margot takes class there. And she is auditioning. She's taking it serious. She wants to get into a company, get a contract. So she goes every day and she takes class really hard. But I also have a friend who used to dance with me, and she takes class at that studio, and she does not want anything professional out of ballet. She does it for herself. She comes a few times a week just to do it out of the love of it, not because she wants not because she wants it to be her job, but because she loves doing it.
So it's a studio where we...
Yeah. There are 12-year-old girls that go to this studio just to take class after school. And there are also 65-year-old women that go to this studio just because, again, they love it. They take class just for themselves. So I think it's going to be a really nice environment for me to get back into it. The teacher's really supportive. He pushes you, but he's supportive. He believes in you. Not because he hates you. He does it because he thinks you can do better, So that's the kind of environment that I would like to dance in, rather than the, you're so stupid, you're so bad, you're so awful, how could you possibly, kind of thing. It's just, I've lost a lot of respect for anyone that feels the need to lead with anger in any industry, in any discipline. I just don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way to lead people. I think it's disrespectful, and I think it's weak, and I think that there's better ways, period. There's always a better way.
There's a lot of bad people in Ballet,
Yeah. I mean, everywhere. I just think that the population of ballet dancers are very vulnerable people because they're young women, usually have had to move far away from their homes to dance with a company. And they have been training since their whole life. It's really hard to get a job, underpaid, overworked, and it makes for a desperate population of dancers that will do anything to keep their spot, because for every dancer in a place, there's 10 women behind them who want that spot too. And we know that. We're raised being told you are replaceable. That is part of the training of a young ballet dancer. And knowing that you're replaceable, knowing she can do your role at any time, knowing that one slip up and you're out, it makes you desperate. It makes you crazy. It makes you meticulous. It makes you a ridiculously hard worker. And it makes you easy to control, When you're young, you're naive, you're desperate, you're in love with ballet, you want this so bad, you'll do anything. And it makes it very easy to take bad treatment because it's okay, it's not that bad, but I get to dance, It's a kind of a dangerous environment. I think there's bad bosses all over in every industry, but I think ballet dancers are uniquely vulnerable to mistreatment,
I think that's just how one more question and we can...
Yeah, sure.
Do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. I'm following your questions.
Yeah.
And I also don't really know what people don't know. You know what I mean?
What people don't know, I tell you what I knew before this.
Yeah.
Before the podcast, my perspective of ballet was just this girl all women. It's just
Anything. Yeah, whatever.
it's a girl in my head. It's like the small.
Usually it is, huh? Usually it's people that are way too young to be working this hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when mine head, it's a small girl who's wearing this pink top, as we said,
Mm-hmm.
and with those shoes,
Mm-hmm.
the white shoes,
Yeah.
something around and them, and moving around and dancing, and with just both the arms up and both the tip of the hands touching each other,
Yep.
turning around.
Yep.
That's all I know about ballet.
Yeah. Of
And if I think of the color, yes, it's pink,
course.
a bit of white, but
Beautiful.
I mean, after what you spoke, it's not just that.
No, it's
There's much more.
yeah. I also think it's kind of funny, this image of like satin shoes and like a pink tutu and, you know, the crown and the glitter, because that's what is often presented on stage. But day to day ballet style is super messed up. Like the more ripped and tatty and old your clothes look, kind of the better. There's this weird style of like wearing scarves and ripped sweaters and ripped tights, and ballet dancers look like, and we cover ourselves in layers and weird layers like vests and things to cover your arms and tiny little shorts that are made of plastic so that your hips sweat but not your legs, and like leg warmers on your bad knee and covering your left foot but not the other one because your left one's the injured one. You know, we have all these weird clothes and weird things and weird devices that we use to get ourselves through the day, and we look like a bunch of zombies, like fashion zombies. And if you would see a ballet company taking class, you'd be like, what is going on here? And it looks so different than the beautiful pink that is portrayed on stage. So it's a very different aesthetic than what the public sees.
I've seen your shoe, like the winter shoe, feet form.
The booties.
What's it called?
Everyone calls them booties.
So what do people type on Google, because there's no video for this podcast? Like, what do they type to search online?
I would recommend watching World Ballet Day. The World Ballet Day is a day that happens every year, and the top companies all participate in it. It's like 24 hours of live streams from the classes of the best companies in the world, or just professional companies. I had one year, one of our classes got live streamed on World Ballet Day, and it was like such a cool thing for us because you grow up as a little girl watching these live streams of beautiful dancers taking ballet class, but they will be in their natural element, wearing their leg warmers, wearing their scarves, and, you know, any ballet class of a professional company, you'll see kind of the day-to-day outfits of dancers. But I mean, as class goes on, you take the layers off, you shed the layers, and you end up in just a leotard and tights and maybe a skirt or shorts because you get warm. But we call them warmers or warm-ups, these clothes that we wear, big sweaters and hats and scarves and things. And they help you get warm in the morning, and then as your body warms up, you take them off until you're left with a very skin-tight layer so you can see your body, see your lines. But it's super different than, we don't take class in pink sparkly tutus every day, which is a very nice image, but it's not the reality.
You just said that you started wearing black, stopped pink. That kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
Because the image is just pink in my brain, and I was like completely coated in black.
For sure. Yeah, no, the ballet students, the sort of traditional standard dress is a black leotard, pink tights underneath the leotard, and pink shoes. But the body, you just look like a little black bean. You know, your legs are pink and your shoes are pink, but the body is a black leotard generally in most schools.
So, one last question.
Yeah, tell me.
What has ballet taught you in your life?
That's a nice question. So many things. So many things. And while I don't recommend being a ballet dancer professionally, if you're not in love with it, I do recommend putting your children in ballet. I think there are so many good things that ballet teaches you. I think discipline is a big one. Hard work and discipline are the foundation of dance, and you're never going to improve, you're never going to progress if you're not doing things by the rules, if you're not willing to work at something that isn't always rewarding. It's often frustrating, it's often painful, but if you're able to push through that, it teaches you discipline, it teaches you resilience, it teaches you hard work. I think it teaches an awareness of the body that is really nice. I think I'll have that for the rest of my life. Knowing how to stretch this muscle or that muscle when it's bothering me. Knowing how amazing it feels to be in a body that is in shape, you know? I think that, I mean, I guess that's true of all athletics, but I think dancing gives you this awareness of your muscles and this awareness of your body that will influence the way that I live the rest of my life. I think that it also has taught me artistry and creativity and self-expression. I think it's given me confidence in the ability to move, and in order to get anywhere in ballet, you have to have confidence. You have to believe in yourself more than anyone else, because no one else is going to believe in you unless you do. The way to audition is to step in that room like you're the best dancer who has ever walked this earth. Even if you're super scared, super insecure, you can never show it. You have to be strong. You have to show them a smile on your face. Like, watch me go. I am God's gift to this studio right now. You are lucky you are looking upon me, And that kind of confidence is the only way you get anywhere. And I think learning to put that on, even if you're scared, even if you're afraid, learning to sort of step into that, like, whatever, I'm going to go for it anyway. I think that has impacted my life drastically. I think being able to fake it till you make it is an incredible skill that ballet has taught me. And community. I think so much of getting through the day as a dancer is relying on the other women in your company, your friends in your company. I think it brings you so close to the people that you're dancing with. And I think learning to rely on each other, learning to exist in a community, learning to work as a team, especially in the corps de ballet, oh my goodness. I mean, we're all working together to create straight lines and a good picture, And if one person's messing around, that affects everybody. Everybody has to do it over and over again. So learning to work as a unit and support each other and work as a team is also something that I have taken from ballet, and I wouldn't change for the world. So I'm very grateful for the way that I studied it, and I think it has completely shaped who I am, for better or for worse.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for sharing your insights, for teaching me and all of us what ballet really is.
Sure, yeah. And listen, I'm no expert, no. I just did it for my life.
Yeah, she's no expert. She just did it for 18 years. That's it.
No, but I feel my answers are my own. Every dancer's individual experience is going to be different from mine. And Lord knows, listen, I passed dance history with an A, but that's not to say I still remember all the details. So don't quote me on this. Huh?
Well, thank you so much for coming and
Thank you.
Doing this amazing podcast with me.
Thank you.
I'm very sure that we're going to have many more podcasts
Yeah.
related to other topics.
I'll be here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.